Hello, this is Genosis, and this is the top 10 locations for books in Alpha 20. This is based off of my experience and research as of Alpha 20.2. Let's go over it now. This is new, so I'm going to cover it first. Look for mailboxes and magazine stands. You will more commonly find an archery, needle or thread, or spear book here. Run up and down any residential streets or city blocks and snatch them up. If you're using bows and spears early on, this will be of great benefit to you. This church has been my go-to for books for several alphas, and still stands as one of the best locations in Alpha 20. The basement is easy to access and has the most condensed sources of books ever since the Crack-A-Book HQ has been revamped. We refer to this one as the House on the Hill, also known as Old Tudor 01. It is a very well-stocked library at the top of the house, but there's also a couple of tough zombies out there, usually higher on the spectrum of game stage. You should walk away with a very decent amount of books once you're done here. This one's referred to as Bookstore 01. No surprise, a bookstore happens to be a good source of books. Though the yield on the small bookcases are quite low, there are very many of them, and you're sure to get at least a handful of books. The end loot also has several high-yield bookshelves and a couple of crates of loot. Not too bad at all. The other bookstore, known as Bookstore 02, is not as large as the first one, but it is still a good source of books. Like 01, there are several low-yield bookshelves, but the end loot is where you'll find several crates which have high yield of books. Dishong Tower. Now this is a tough cookie as it is a tier 5 and doesn't have a condensed cache of books. However, there's a law office on the 10th floor that has several offices with high yield bookshelves. Also, there are many desks and filing cabinets throughout the POI that have a low chance at books, but there are so many of them that your chances aren't all that bad. The Crack-A-Book sign alerts you to a bookstore in this building called Downtown Strip 02 and has 2 floors of low-yield bookshelves and piles. However, there are a couple of high-yield bookshelf crates in the back, making this a decent location. I am putting the Crack-A-Book HQ in the low of the pecking order of book locations due to its disappointing yield after the Alpha 20 revamp. The main floor has a very sad set of low-yield bookshelves, and the only good amount of books you're going to find is in the basement with a very dense volume of zombies. Here you will find at least 2 crates of books, which makes this vaguely appealing. Oh, how they've done you dirty, Crack-A-Book HQ. Place looks great though. This somewhat unassuming house labeled House Modern 05 can be identified by the split staircase and pool in the back, as well as the second floor main entrance with pillars. While this doesn't have as large of a cache of books as the others, there are at least 8 to 10 bookcases here, and there will often be a Crack-A-Book crate at the end, making this a worthy mention in the list. Though it isn't a good source of loot, you will often find perk magazines for sale at the traders, as well as quest rewards. If you're on a multiplayer server, it may commonly have books that other players didn't need, so be sure to check it out at least once before it restocks every cycle. I hope I've helped you on your way for enlightenment, and if you know of any other great sources of books, please drop it in the comments for others to share. This has been Genosis with the top 10 locations for books in Alpha 20. If you like what you saw here today, like the video, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.